Hello my scrappy friends, and a big welcome to my YouTube channel today. It's Melinda Sweetman here with you, and I have my most recent project for Cut to You. You can see I'm starting here in Silhouette Studio. I am playing with one of the gorgeous files from the Advent calendar. It is the Sparkling Season cut file. I'm also playing with another cut file from the store, which is the Holly Baubles, I think they're called. And I wanted to show you how I created this. If you were observant, you would have seen right at the beginning as well that I've actually created a t-shirt. So I've created a HTV design, which I popped on a t-shirt. So something fun and different for the festive season. I cannot wait to bust this out and wear it. So I have left this at actual speed. And I have left these cut files at the same size as what I've bought them into Silhouette Studio as. I've traced the outline of them so I can get my cut lines correct. You can see I'm just resizing that so that I'm happy with the way that they sit together, the way they nestle in together, and just how it looks. I have sped up this little bit a bit because watching me resize is not fun. You can see I'm counting lines there just to make sure I do this next bit in just the right place. I'm going to move this cut file over. So I'm going to overlap the two designs, and I'm going to use my knife tool, and I'm going to cut straight along. So you can see I'm using that. I'm holding shift and using my mouse to draw a straight line straight across. And I'm going to do the same up the top here. Now this one I get a little bit off, but exact same thing. Switch back to my little pointer tool, delete the extra lines because I've used the knife tool so that it creates two new shapes. I hope that makes sense. So you can see I've moved that back over and it's not sitting quite right where I wanted it. I have made that right hand string a bit too short. So I'm going to undo what I did and then do the exact same process again because I'm not happy with where it is. So I'm just doing Control Z to undo. I'm on a Mac, and so I've just recut those. There we go. I'm doing that now. I'm going to delete that line and delete that line. Now it is in the right place. I'm going to move it back. I'm making sure that I'm happy with the way that's all sitting together. There's no lines overlapping that I don't want to overlap. From there, I then select both designs and I hit that weld button. So now it's all one cut file. I'm going to zoom in here. You can see how I've got the funny little shapes there. When you double click on the lines, you get the points, they're called. And any lines that you don't want to cut, you just select the little point and hit delete. So I'm getting rid of the funny shapes there so that it cuts the way that it's supposed to, and I get my beautiful inside cut lines on my letters. I've done that. You can also so I'm just deleting that, making sure that's all correct. You can also straighten the lines, lengthen them, change the angle, all that kind of stuff. But I thought I would just keep this really simple. So I'm going to do the same here. I've got that funny little L shape there that I want to get rid of. So I'm just clicking where the red line goes really dark. That's the line that you're going to be either deleting or moving. All right, so I've got all of this done. Now I know that the heat transfer vinyl that I'm using is 5.5 inches wide. So from top to bottom for this design, I have 5.5 inches to work with. So I'm resizing that. Because this is all welded, I can just select one of the cut lines and the whole thing will move as well. I did have my shirt handy and I was measuring the way that the length against the shirt just to make sure that it was all correct. I found that doing a box around either the heat transfer or regular vinyl shapes really helps when you come to weeding. Now because I'm using red sparkly glitter vinyl, I do add in a couple of extra lines. So here, except I'm not doing the right thing, I'll try again. So I'm just using the line tool, holding the shift key, and going straight across so we get a nice straight line. And then I'm going to do the same thing once I've got that one, from the top down to join that line. Again, holding the shift key to get a nice straight line. I am making sure that it overlaps the other lines on the outside box. I'm going to use my knife tool again, I think. Oh no, first I weld it, then I use my knife tool, I think. Yes, and I cut just above that line and just to the left once I get it in the right place, and just to the left of this line, and I can delete those two lines on the top left corner so that I've got that extra tiny bit of red glitter HTV that I can use for a different project. I'm going to turn this because I know which way I'm going to put it onto my mat. So I'm just going to select the design, making sure it's actually the right size, and use my little green. Oh no, weld it all, make sure it's all one piece again, and then turn it, pop it into place. Sorry, it's just started raining here. And then I'm going to right click and I have to flip the design. So with the heat transfer vinyl, you're cutting on the back of the design, so you need to flip the design, especially like if you're using words. So flip horizontally so that it's backwards, and so that when you, after you weed it, you've got the correct side of the vinyl stuck to the transfer sheet. I'm going to send that to my Cameo. Just a note, when you do send it to your Cameo and you select heat transfer vinyl and you hit send, it does pop up and say, do you want to flip this design? If you've already flipped it, you do not need to flip it again. So I'm going to send this off. I didn't record the rest of my process, but I do have some stills with what I've done and how I've done it. Here they are. So make sure, yeah, if you are interested, if you have any questions, if something I've said doesn't make sense, please make sure you leave me a question below. I'm more than happy to help you out with that. This was a super fun project. I did end up playing with the extra leftovers as well, and you will see that just at the end. As always, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you've enjoyed my share today, and I will see you in my next process video. Have a fantastic scrappy day, my friends.